One person is in custody after crashing a stolen car earlier this morning. Thanks for choosing Color 10 for your news at midday. I'm Lauren Barnes. Springfield police responded to Sunshine and Ingram Mill, where a suspect crashed outside the State Bank of Southwest Missouri and then ran away. Officers and canines tracked the suspect down and took them into custody. Police discovered the vehicle had been stolen about 20 minutes prior to that crash. Around the region, a 12-year-old Missouri girl has died after a St. Louis County police SUV hit her during a pursuit. Akela Jackson had been hospitalized for nearly a month. St. Louis County police say Akela darted in front of the speeding county car in a residential neighborhood. Police say their Bureau of Professional Standards is continuing to investigate the officer's role in the accident.
What's in question is did he follow procedures and policy? We understand he did not have his lights or his siren on, which would have given nobody an opportunity to get out of the road.
County police have said the officer was pursuing a vehicle with questionable registration, and the chase reached 59 miles per hour, 32 seconds long in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. There's a baby boom happening in our state's capital. More than a dozen members of the same sheriff's department became parents to babies, all of those babies born this year. CBS's Meg Oliver reports it turns out the boom may be thanks to voters.
You have to wonder if something is in the water in Jefferson County. 17 infants within one sheriff's department born in the same year.
I think no one realized how many babies there were until we showed up that day for the picture, and then it was kind of an awe factor just seeing them all.
Yeah, buddy.
Meet Connor, the first child born on January 10th. Then last month, little Micah and Cade became numbers 16 and 17, born only hours apart. Turns out this baby boom may be thanks to a financial boon for the county's deputies.
It was a huge help. Obviously, having kids is expensive.
The theory is the babies all came from a proposition, but maybe not the kind you're thinking. In April of 2018, Jefferson County residents voted to pass Proposition P, a property tax increase that raised salaries in the sheriff's office, something these officers haven't seen for over 30 years.
When you go from 37, 38,000 starting pay to 50,000, that's life-changing for a family. I think Prop P definitely helped. You have a little bit more flexibility in starting a family when there's more money coming in.
The Prop P babies, as they're known, have some steep competition around the country. From 9 babies at the Rancho Cucamonga Fire Department, the 9 labor and delivery nurses at the Maine Medical Center, and the 36 nurses from the Kansas City Children's Hospital, all having babies so far in 2019. Jefferson County can boast to have one of the largest booms at one time with their 17 bundles of joy. And now these 17 families have something else to feel fortunate about: each other.
There's a lot of parenting tips going around the office right now, so we're always joking and asking how each other's children are doing. And you see one of the guys coming in looking pretty tired, and you're not sure if they were on a call all night or if they were up with their newborn all night.
We are also happy to report all moms and their babies are healthy. And get this, no names were repeated among the 17. Proposition P was passed to hopefully prevent the officers from leaving for more competitive salaries. Here's a traffic note for you. The cold, wet weather is delaying road work and the closure of this bridge, Missouri Route 32 over Cedar Creek. It's about 4 miles west of Stockton. The bridge was scheduled to close to allow contractor crews to connect existing segments of 32 to the new bridge and newly straightened segment of Route 32. It's unclear when the construction will now begin. Local spotlight now. When it comes to spending time in a park, typical 16-year-olds might use the area to play a game of baseball with friends, but Forsyth's Nathan Guy has different plans. Guy is the newest member of the Forsyth Park Board. The 16-year-old was voted in as a member after the park board wanted to add someone with a fresh perspective. Board President Greg Doherty is a Forsyth high school teacher and asked the teen to join because of his dedication to class and background growing up on a farm. Doherty says he hopes Guy's success will inspire other students to get involved.
It gives them a sense of pride, I think, to take that kind of role in the community, and the community appreciates it too. It's just a positive for everybody, I think.
Always show your good side. You never know when someone like Mr. Doherty is going to give you an opportunity like that.
The Forsyth Park Board meets monthly, and at the last meeting, Nathan was tasked with ordering and planting maple trees at Shoals Bend Park. He says he also plans to get more of his classmates involved in that project. Following up on the meteor shower spotted over Missouri Monday night, you've probably seen this video by now, a bright light falling over the Gateway Arch in St. Louis. There it is. The American Meteor Society got 200 reports of sightings, mostly from Missouri, but also as far as 350 miles away in Oklahoma and Wisconsin. The society says the meteor was somewhat unusual because it was large enough to be uncommonly bright and created a boom after falling within 38 miles of the Earth's surface, while most meteors burn up before getting that close. Scientists say, though, they do not expect to find those remains. It's about 7 past the hours. We take a live look at blue skies in Springfield. Thankful to be above freezing. Elisa.
Finally, temperatures are getting into the middle 30s, going for 46 degrees today. Might not feel like it, though, because of breezy winds. Details on a slow warming trend in the 7-day coming up next.
From Color 10, Ozarks First. This is Color 10 News Midday. And now weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa.
It was another cold start this morning with temperatures dropping into the teens. It was 18 degrees for a low in Springfield, 16 in Branson, 16 in Rolla, and in Lake of the Ozarks as well. Of course, these temperatures well below the average. Now, it was cold but not record. The low of 18 was way above the record of 5 from 1986, so that stands. 37 degrees there is that average. We've got lots of sunshine out there this midday. Temperatures finally above freezing. 35 degrees right now thanks to steady southerly winds. Temperatures have warmed 16 to 20 degrees from where they were yesterday. 35 right now in Springfield. It's 30 in Mountain Grove, 32 in Fort Leonard, and 32 in Rolla. Southerly winds are helping us get these temperatures to be warmer. They're pretty steady, though, sustained at 15 to 20 miles per hour. Some gusts up to 30, so the gusty winds is pulling wind chills back. While we are above freezing in many spots, it still feels like it's 26 degrees in Springfield, so those wind chills will hurt a little bit as we head through the day today. We still have some wind chills biting across most of the U.S. as the Arctic air takes hold. Now, it is moved to the east, right? We've got this warmer air coming into the Ozarks because we've passed off that Arctic blast over to the east coast. They set their record lows this morning. Our Arctic high is over to the east now, so that's pulling in these southerly winds that have been pretty breezy or wet already as a cold front starts to set up to the west. Temperatures today in the 40s will be still below average, but warmer than yesterday. 46 degrees for that high. 59 is the average. Lots of sunshine out there with those temperatures in the 40s. Temperatures drop into the 20s tonight and winds shift to the north. A cold front actually comes through tonight. It just does so dry, and that will pull back temperatures again tomorrow. Upper 30s and lower 40s won't be quite as extreme, but it will be cooler tomorrow than it will be today. Wind chills will hang around in the 30s as we head through the afternoon because those south winds stay pretty steady. Wind chills in the 20s overnight tonight, and then we'll have wind chills in the 30s as we head through the day tomorrow. Looking at the rest of the week, the Arctic air gets held back. We'll get a pattern in the jet stream that cuts off that Arctic flow. The jet stream, remember, it separates the cold air from the warm air. So with it the way it is at the end of the week, we just won't be able to open up that door to that Canadian air mass like we did yesterday and the day before that. So we'll still be chilly, still below average, but not as extreme. A little bit cooler tomorrow at 41 degrees. We slowly warm up again Friday into Saturday. Temperatures in the upper 40s and lower 50s this weekend. Average is 59 degrees. We're looking at a slow warm up on the overnights as well. We drop to 20 degrees by Friday morning, and then we transition back up towards freezing as we head towards the weekend. 46 degrees today, mostly sunny. We thaw out, warmer and breezy. South winds are already gusting up to 30 miles per hour. 26 overnight, not quite as bitter under clear skies. 41 tomorrow. Another cool shot rolls in on north and west winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. We'll start that warm up again Friday and Saturday. Temperatures around 50 degrees. Maybe a shower on Sunday, but most of us stay dry.
Up next this midday, we're following the impeachment proceedings happening right now in Washington. Public hearings are underway. We'll have an update from Capitol Hill when we come back. It's 11:17 on this Wednesday, November 13th, and here's what's happening right now. The public, it's their turn to hear testimony as part of the Democrat-led impeachment inquiry against President Trump in the House of Representatives. CBS News sent Natalie Brand to Capitol Hill to bring us this story.
House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff gavelled in the first public hearing as part of the impeachment inquiry into President Trump's actions with Ukraine.
The questions presented by this impeachment inquiry are whether President Trump sought to exploit that ally's vulnerability and invite Ukraine's interference in our elections.
Republicans have called the process a sham and tried to delay the hearing.
What we will witness today is a televised theatrical performance staged by the Democrats.
Bill Taylor, the top diplomat in Ukraine, and State Department official George Kent are the first witnesses to testify publicly.
Nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Taylor says it was his understanding President Trump wouldn't release military aid to Ukraine until it launched investigations into his political rivals.
I wrote that withholding security assistance in exchange for help with a domestic political campaign in the United States would be crazy. I believed that then, and I believe it now.
Republicans say the aid money was released without the investigation and add Taylor never heard the president order a quid pro quo. Both of today's witnesses say the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, worked behind the scenes to try and get Ukraine to open the political investigations. Mr. Kent testified that Giuliani, along with two associates, spread lies and misinformation about former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, in an attempt to get her removed from the position.
In my opinion, those attacks undermined U.S. and Ukrainian national interests and damaged our critical bilateral relationship.
The White House says President Trump would be watching part of the hearings. He dismissed the witnesses on Twitter this morning as never Trumpers. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The White House has put together a team of White House lawyers and communication professionals to watch the hearings as they happen and get out a response quickly. Up next, we're checking in around the world. Parts of Italy are underwater. We'll show you what residents in Venice are dealing with when it comes to flooding in one Italian city. Up next. Welcome back to what's happening around the world. The mayor of Venice, Italy, wants to declare the city a disaster zone, and you're taking a look at the reason why. The second highest tide ever recorded flooded its historic basilica, leaving many alleyways, streets, and businesses underwater. City officials say the tide peaked at 6 feet and 2 inches yesterday, just short of the record 6 feet and nearly 4 inches set in 1966. The mayor says climate change is a big reason for the disastrous flooding. And the memorial to remember victims of the El Paso Walmart massacre has been removed. The city of El Paso cleared out this makeshift memorial today at Cielo Vista Walmart that had become a gathering place for the community. The city moved some of the items to a new memorial at Ponder Park and took the vast majority to a warehouse to be archived for future exhibits. Some volunteers say the new location is a more sustainable tribute to the victims of the shooting, but not everyone in El Paso agrees with the city's decision.
It's a beautiful thing because now it's going to find a more permanent location where the elements and nature won't destroy the items left by families. So it's a good thing.
Archiving it is just, it's almost like let's just forget about it. It needs to be remembered what happened in El Paso.
22 people, you might remember, were killed August 3rd when a gunman opened fire at that Walmart. The location is set to reopen tomorrow.